Hello everybody, it's GameFix here. Today we are going to react to two black-eyed children stories. Now, we need to do it because I want to make this today, and I'm going to wait. So I want to do this for real, and I want to do it, so I want to do it. So let's start the video and subscribe to the video.
Hey, I'm Sapphire. Want to hear something scary?
Yeah.
Have you heard of the Black-Eyed Children?
No.
It's not an early 2000s cover band consisting of infants.
Yeah.
It's a phenomenon that's been increasing in popularity over the past few years. The basic story is always the same. You're in your house, and then in the middle of the night you hear a knock on your door. And if you open the door, you'll see two young children with completely black eyes. They'll ask if they can come in. Whatever you do, don't let them in. Whether they actually exist or not, this is the creepiest encounter that I found online. This woman made the mistake of letting the black-eyed children in.
Why?
This is what happened. So this woman and her husband live in a rural town in Vermont, sort of in the middle of nowhere. And one snowy night, they are awoken at 2 a.m. to a really loud banging on the door.
I can't do that.
So they open the door and they see a young boy and a young girl, and they're definitely not appropriately dressed for the snow. They're avoiding eye contact and just staring at the ground. There was something really uneasy about these kids. And so they asked them, where are your parents?
They'll be here soon.
What the hell?
Can we come in?
No.
So this woman and her husband just looked at each other, and despite all of their instincts telling them not to, they decided to let the children in. So the woman went into the kitchen to make everyone some hot cocoa, and her husband went into the living room and was sitting there with the kids and trying to get more information out of them. And that's when she noticed her cat was acting really weird. Usually her cat is really friendly and likes to approach any guests that come into the house. But this time, he just hid underneath the kitchen table and was staring at the children and growling very lowly. So the woman took the hot cocoa and went into the living room, and she noticed that her husband had his head in his hands. I feel really dizzy. The woman went to hand the cocoa to the children, and that's when they looked up at her for the first time. Their eyes were completely black. No whites, just black.
Maybe use the restroom?
And the kids left for the hallway. The woman turned to her husband and said, "Did you see their eyes?" Her husband lifted his head and his nose was bleeding. And just then, the power went out. She couldn't help but think that the presence of these children had something to do with this.
That's true.
And so the woman stumbled her way over to the bathroom to see if she could get a tissue. And the two children were just standing there in the hallway.
What? Why are they standing there?
Our parents are here.
So the kids went to the front door, left it wide open, and the woman saw these two really tall men in dark suits standing at the edge of their driveway. The woman waved at them, but they didn't react at all and went in their car, and all four of them drove away. The power came back on about half an hour later, but not everything went back to normal. A few days later, 3 of their 4 cats went missing. And one night, they came home to find their cat dead in a puddle of its own blood. Her husband continued to have nosebleeds, and when he went to the doctor, he was diagnosed with a very aggressive type of skin cancer, a type that's linked to overuse of indoor tanning beds, which he's never used. She also claims that she started getting nosebleeds and feeling really dizzy randomly, and even some unspeakable things that she refused to disclose in her story. So, what do you guys think? Are there really black-eyed children?
What you guys think? Do you think they put curse on them, or is it a curse from the black-eyed children, or they just been here? Don't know yet. Let me come back. Okay, I'm back right now. I just had to pause it because I don't want to see the whole thing. But this one is from K-Lart, and there are from the Black-Eyed Children too. Don't let them in. This is an animation from K-Lart, the Black-Eyed Children. So let's watch it. And I'll be scared of this one. I'll be scared. The Snarl one wasn't scared enough. Well, let's just watch it. It's gonna be silent forever because it's gonna be silent because it doesn't show up yet. Because the story's not done yet. Okay, now the song's going on.
So, last night, I was in my living room reading some stories about the black-eyed children and the real-life men in black.
Okay.
It was around 2:30 in the morning, and my dog went to the door like he had to go out. I started to get up, and he started growling at the door. He has never growled at anything in his life.
That's true.
He's only 6 months old.
Oh, really?
Then, my other dog jumped up onto the couch, trembling and whining. She's a year old.
Okay.
Needless to say, this unnerved me, since I was reading about creepy stuff and was already a little freaked out.
True.
So, I just sat back on the couch and held my older dog, trying to calm her down. Then, a knock came on the door. Usually, my dogs go wild, barking and whining excitedly because they love people.
Yeah, those would do.
But my 6-month-old puppy ran away from it and came over by me.
Isn't that brave enough?
At this point, my heart was racing, and I was just terrified.
Okay.
All the lights in my house were off, and the curtains were drawn.
Yeah, that's drawn.
I don't have a peephole,
you don't?
so I peeked out through the blinds of the window behind me that overlooked the porch.
Oh, they're here.
There were 2 boys standing there.
Why?
One looked to be around maybe 5.
Yeah.
He was really little. And the other one was about 10, I'd say.
Yeah, like 10 a little bit.
They had their heads down and were wearing winter clothes, heavy jackets. I thought this was weird because it's in the middle of summer.
Yeah, it's in the middle of summer.
Then they both turn and look up at me.
Oh.
I don't have a bulb on my porch light, so I couldn't see their faces, but they looked directly at the window.
Yeah.
This freaked me out even more, so I moved away from the window and just sat on my couch.
Please don't.
I couldn't believe that this was happening.
Go up to the window.
I had heard that if you knew about them, then they would visit
they come into the window.
Then one of them spoke. Ma'am, can you let us in? It's really cold out here, and my brother is hungry. I didn't move, and I didn't reply.
Yeah, don't move and fly.
I was immediately alarmed because I had no idea how they knew I was a ma'am. I just sat there on my couch.
How they knew you were a woman?
What the hell would 2 young kids be doing out at this time of night anyway?
True.
Plus, it's June in Alabama.
June.
It isn't cold by any means.
It's true.
I had read stories, and I thought, nope, not going to answer the door.
Yeah,
Fuck this.
Don't answer.
Ma'am, please let us in. I saw you through the window. I know you're there.
What?
It will only take a moment.
No.
I was like, okay, what the fuck? A moment? What kids say that?
Yeah, what kid said that?
I was frozen in fear and just refused to answer them at all. I waited for them to go away and didn't dare look out my window because I just knew that they were right next to it and would be staring back at me with pitch black eyes.
They will stare back at you.
Then, after a few seconds of silence, they started pounding on my window, and I heard the same voice again. Let us in, please, it's cold. We have to call our mum. She'll be worried if we don't call her.
Mom?
At this point, I was almost in tears. Just sat back against the arm of my couch and held my legs up to my chest. There was no way I was answering that fucking door.
Yeah, I'm listen.
I stayed that way for about half an hour until I was sure that they were gone and everything was quiet. I never saw these kids' eyes. I have no idea for sure if they were black-eyed children.
Oh, they're gone.
But I definitely believe that they were.
They're not here.
I grabbed my phone and called my friend,
call your friend,
who had suggested I read the stories, and woke her up and begged her to come stay the night with me.
Yeah, stay the night with her.
After I told her what happened, she agreed right away.
Yeah.
About 15 minutes later, she still wasn't here.
Yeah, she wasn't there.
I started to get worried, because she only lives on the next street over.
Worry, she's gonna come.
I saw headlights in my driveway and looked out the window. I saw her get out of the car and run to my door, banging on it.
Yeah, just do that.
I let her in immediately, and she was crying and had this terrified look on her face and said, "You aren't going to believe this, but I swear to God, I just encountered the 2 kids you told me about."
You've seen them too.
She said she was at a stop sign and checked her phone for a second when this kid knocked on her window.
All right.
It startled her, so she looked up, and strangely, the street lights were out, so she couldn't see his face.
Yeah, you can't.
But there was another younger kid behind him.
Yeah, this is not
She cracked the window open, already apprehensive, and said, "Can I help you?"
Yeah.
And the kid said,
Don't get close.
"Give us a ride."
You can just
in a demanding,
you can
overly confident voice for a child. She didn't say anything, and the kid stepped toward her car, and he was close enough now that she noticed he had jet black eyes, wall-to-wall black, no white. She said she wanted to drive away immediately, but felt like she was being pulled into his stare, almost opening her door before she snapped out of it. She gunned the gas pedal and went straight to my house. We stayed up the rest of the night together. According to the stories, they usually pay you more than one visit.
One visit.
So I'm going to take a shit ton of melatonin and knock myself out tonight to try and sleep right through, in case they decide to come again.
They would.
Believe me or not, this really happened right here in Huntsville.
Huntsville, Alabama.
Lock your doors and windows and ignore any child that comes to your door asking for help, especially if it's at night.
Especially if it's at night. Okay. I see it. I see it now. I see now. It's where they going to pay you one visit if you let them in. Well, they won't let them in because they won't leave. You won't leave, but you won't leave at all. But if you're just gonna let them in, why would you do it? If I see them, I won't let them in. If 11, 12, or 10, I'm not going to answer the door. Or 1, 2. I'm not going to do that either. Because when it's summertime, they won't show up. At nighttime, they will show. At night as well. But they were just going to stay there for the longest, and then they're going to find the next victim and see the next victim who's going to do it. The victim will never do it, but the victim will. But that's going to help them out. Man, pause this for a minute. I don't want you to show what I'm doing because I don't like doing that because it's hard. It's Valentine's Day. It's not Valentine's Day no more because I know it isn't. But I suppose I would do it. I was going to give my girlfriend a Valentine's Day gift. And I still have it around, but I don't know where. I don't think they have it. I know they got it. No, they don't got it. So I'm going to set up the Valentine's Day one. So they have to get up here, and if they could get up here, but I'm going to test her at 11 o'clock, and I'm not calling her at 11 o'clock. I'm not going to call her at 11 o'clock because that's like too late. That's like late at night. But I'm not going to do that. But I'm not going to do another snarl video or a 2-story video because I don't want it to. But that's the end of the video. Join the Keeper Squad. Love you. Bye-bye.